Hello and welcome, Rangers. I'm Joe, here with me is my co-host Stan.
Hello and greetings.
Today, as you can see from the title, we're going to be analyzing the Rise of the Emerald Dragon, a Power Rangers spin-off story idea that JDF and Bat in the Sun had regarding Power Rangers, some probably around 10 years ago almost. The idea of this story was a pretty interesting one. There's some great art regarding it, such as with Tommy, regarding a Dark Lord Ranger of sorts, who would be the main villain. Just think it's humorous. The helmet kind of looks like that of the Red Ranger from the Mighty Morphin days. The synopsis is that an unknown evil from the past has returned and stolen all the Ranger powers. It is now up to Tommy Oliver to reawaken the Green Ranger power to stop this evil and return the Ranger powers before it's too late. Which, that right there sounds pretty cool.
I agree. And with how unpredictable the green abilities were, that would show a bit of desperation.
On Tommy's part, yes. Which would show how dire the situation got eventually, because you don't just simply use the Green Ranger abilities, because they're just unstable and unreliable. That said, there are various helmets, including a White Dragon-style helmet, except green, that was considered. And the concept art that can be found of this storyline regarding the fight scene at the end between this Dark Ranger and Tommy is pretty neat. And of course, we would have the possible return of the Dragon Zord. Bat in the Sun had this to say, though. Did you know that we originally pitched an Old Man Tommy story to Boom/Saban titled Return of the Emerald Dragon that was later turned into Soul of the Dragon? This is why JDF is credited on the project. 24 hours before its public announcement, they removed Bit's team off the project because they felt they had changed the story enough from having to give credit. Or, I should say, Dragon Ranger. That was the idea. Apparently, the notion was that Tommy would have to go into the morphing grid to reignite the Green Ranger abilities in order to fight a newfound foe, and that the Dragon Ranger was really possibly Lord Draken, essentially, an evil version of Tommy, supposed to become a TV series. Honestly, we did hear something about this around the time Logan was released. GDF wanted to make a Logan-style Old Man Tommy story. The trouble is, people derided GDF at the time and said, well, obviously you don't have a plan for the story. But apparently the story was already pretty much written. At least it seems that way according to Bat in the Sun. So they had essentially the Lord of Draken angle, they had the Old Man Tommy angle, and the tone of the story looks like it would have been darker, slightly grittier. And while this does not excite me too much as a Power Ranger fan, the fact that GDF would have been on board the project and supervising is kind of encouraging. Trouble is, this entire story, Rise of the Emerald Dragon, was proposed to Saban, and given Saban had a history of cutting corners and otherwise really didn't like Jason David Frank, yeah, it came to nothing, because of course it came to nothing. I think it was in the mid-2010s, GDF released, we're gonna do this. I'm going to try to get this made. An Old Man Tommy story set like Logan. Remember how excited I was when I discovered that news, and I was like, oh my gosh, we might get this. I was very excited, remember?
Yes, it would have been a major departure from essentially something like Old Man Logan.
And it would have also been a major departure from the regular Power Rangers seasons into uncharted territory. But instead, what was made was that weird 2017 Power Rangers movie where they tried to reboot the franchise unsuccessfully because, of course, the movie was unsuccessful. Well, we got robbed of our Old Man Tommy story. Apparently, there was going to be a comic book release alongside the movie, so we would have had double pleasure there. There was another idea where if Tommy being lost in the morphing grid and the Rangers having to combine all his abilities into a single morpher, essentially the Master Morpher, and him combining Lord Draken style all of his powers into one with weird new helmets and whatnot. And I'm not sure what I think of this idea, but it could have gone somewhere. It was shot down, and in frustration, apparently Bat in the Sun and GDF decided, you know what, why are we even pitching ideas here if they're just going to keep saying no, and we wouldn't even have the copyright ownership? We're just going to go off and make our own IP. You know what, we're going to make our own Power Rangers franchise. Enough with this. And so they made Legend of the White Dragon. What's saddening about the whole thing with the Rise of the Emerald Dragon is the story looks like it would have been really cool because Tommy would be a new dad to a young baby with Kat. I'm going to agree with a few other people I know and say it should have been Kimberly. Hey, that would have brought Amy Jo Johnson back to the Power Rangers franchise. Anything to get the original Pink Ranger back.
I'm inclined to agree on that one.
Yeah, it would mean she'd get a steep paycheck, but who cares? She's a great actress, and her character's great. Tommy then has to set out on a quest to reignite the Green Ranger Morpher, as I said. That's it. That's basically the plot. And he has to fight a kind of shadow version of himself, which some of the ideas got reused for other characters and villains and whatnot. But ultimately, JDF decided to make, like I said, the Legend of the White Dragon, which thank heavens he did. 'Cause
I agree, and
why let these good ideas go to waste?
and why hand some of these good ideas to be perverted?
By Saban. Saban never really appreciated GDF. And I don't think they respected Bat in the Sun when they partnered up with GDF. But I'm actually going to say something, I don't know if this is controversial, but GDF made Power Rangers. I think we all recognize that at this point. Saban may have owned the rights to Power Rangers, but Power Rangers would have perished long ago without Tommy Oliver. It would not have exploded as a franchise without the character of Tommy. Funny, I would have loved to see a series with maybe like 12 episodes, 1 hour long each, of Tommy. But we're never going to see that.
And it's a pity.
At least we'll see the Legend of the White Dragon.
I agree with that.
Anyways, tell us what you think in the comments section. And don't forget to smash that like and that subscribe button as though you were Tommy smash kicking it. And remember, Rangers, may the power protect you.